Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday and we are reading the dragon cards today. So every single week there is a theme of what's going on, and the dragon cards today, the theme that's coming up for all of us, cosmic consciousness, is how the dragons navigate you through to find your soul's purpose, helping you to claim your power to create a new reality for yourself. So one of the things I hear more than anything else in my practice is I don't like what's happening, I don't like what I'm seeing, everything's going wrong, nothing's changing, and this is where you start to call the dragons in. So this can be very true, and it can be like maybe where you're standing right now and you're like, oh, I know something's going on, I know I need to do something different, I need to jump, but I don't know where I'm jumping and I don't know what I'm jumping to. And it can be really, really, really frustrating not to have that direction. And you'll know exactly that you're not following your soul's purpose, what you promised your soul that you would do, when things are going a little bit squiffy for you, when things are going a little bit wrong. Now, this is where the dragons can really, really help you. And they point out in no uncertain terms. I mean, dragons are very straight talking. They're not airy fairy. They're not sort of whimsical and fluffy. They really are very direct and very straight talking. So if you find that you've got a physical symptom coming up, or if you find that you're not very fortunate or things are going a bit wrong financially, or you're having a lot of arguments romantically, this is where they're asking you in no uncertain terms to kind of, well, change your identity, create something new for yourself, have a new thought pattern. For example, I now create a life I love to look at, that I love to be in, that I'm thrilled every single morning to get up and live this life. So if you're coming on and you're listening to this and this is resonating for you, then this is what we do. This is how we heal. We channel in the dragons and we're asking them, like, what on earth is going on? What on earth is this all about? And this is where the dragons will talk very directly to you. When I've done readings for people to do with their businesses, it's very, very direct. So you can also kind of have a new thought pattern. I'm creating a life I love to look at and embrace it with excitement, happiness, and the joy of my soul's purpose. So it reminds me very much that, you know, we need to be a little bit more grateful about where we are, where we've been brought to, what we said that we were going to do when we came here to Earth, what we said we were going to do in 2024, how we were going to be fabulous, if you're not fabulous enough already, which of course you are. You know, and everything that's been brought to you on your life's path is a message. And sometimes we think that the messages from our angels, from our guides, from the dragons are just, oh, they're so nice, everybody loves me, everything's funny, you know, and everything's working out really well. No, sometimes the dragons are kind of like, you're not the kind of person that responds to that. You're the kind of person who needs to be told, come on girl, pull your socks up. Or they're going to like give you a bit of the kick up the backside, and they're going to be very direct, and you are going to be ending up going, what on earth is going on? Because that's exactly the question that you need to be asking, and this is when that they will show you exactly what all of that is all about. Don't know why I just took my glasses off. Anyway, so thank you very much for showing up here today. Thank you very much for asking for the dragons to help you find out what's going on in your life, and be prepared to hear what it is that you're stuck with and what the solution is when you pick a card. If you haven't picked a card already, if you have, I will tag you. If you haven't picked a card already, then do so now. Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4, and I will read that out to you. Your inner world creates your outer world. It's the most frustrating thing, isn't it, when people say to you, oh, everything's on the inside, you create it for yourself, everything's on the inside, everything's working out just as well. It's like, I don't need to know what that's all about, I want to know the answers now. The dragons are very direct. They're very direct because the people who are attracted to the dragons, or the people that the dragons are already calling in because they've already come through in your meditations, are that kind of person. They're kind of like, oh, stop pussyfooting around, just tell me what's going on. I can handle it, I'm ready. So here we are, reading the cards finding out, you know, what is in your way. And unfortunately, ladies and gents, the only person who's in our way is us, but we don't necessarily know what it is that we're doing because we're so used to doing it. Sometimes we need it spelled out. So if you feel lost and you can't find your way out, we have to create a new version of you. And this is where I come in and help you coax out of you those internal stories that are just standing in your way. I have them. We all have them. It's just seeing, oh my God, I was actually saying that, wasn't I? We don't know what we're saying because we're so used to saying it. We're so used to living our own life. It sometimes takes someone looking into our life, like the dragons, bless them, to kind of go, that is such a human response. And this is what they do for me. When they channel through me, I can be in the garden and I can be, oh, it's not working very well, is it? This isn't working well. Oh. And they'll say to me, stop it. That is such a human response. And I'll be, gosh, you're right. I wasn't even aware that that was my habitual sound in my head that I was just keeping on repeat. So if there's anything going on there, then we really need to be listening and reading what's going on. So if this is resonating with you and you want to know more about the dragons, if you want to be empowered by the dragons and start following the dragon's way, if you're not going to duck out and shy off and kind of go, ooh, the dragons are here for you. And they're so loving and they're so gentle. It is important to surrender. It is important to submit, because often what they'll say to you is, you're not doing your practice. You're not calling us in. You're not talking to us. You're not respecting us. You're not respecting yourself, darling. You know, these are some of the messages that are coming through. So, you know, you will be required to get to the edge of the cliff, which is very much what rainbow ceremony, the rainbow dragon talks about, getting to the edge of the cliff and jump off. And the dragons always, always catch you. They are here for the bravest, the most courageous, the most extraordinary souls. The dragons are here for you because they want to hand you a blank slate and say, now fly, now create the world that you want to live in. So all the spiritual teachers all talk about the soul, and one of the things that's been coming through just recently is that they really, it's zero tolerance. They want you more than anything else to connect in with your soul, to know who you are as soul, I should say, so that you are seeing through the eyes of the soul, you're hearing what the soul has to say, and you're operating as soul. Now this is where the dragons become really, really excited. When you're saying, I'm ready to let my soul all the way through. I'm ready to live from the soul's perspective, do my soul work, and treat everything as a soul journey. So before I start, I would like to just know, for the people who are listening, the people who are on Instagram, the people who are on Facebook, how is it that you are connecting in with your soul? What kind of practices do you do? How are you listening to your soul? How are you inviting her into your day? So when we work with the dragons, it really is all about being able to listen to yourself, be able to listen to yourself as a soul. What kind of relationship are you building up? How are you talking to yourself? If you don't know, this is definitely what I'm doing. And in soul school, how to prepare to hear your soul, this is something, oh great, you know, breathing, listening to your heart, breathing, getting out of your head. One of the main things that the dragons have taught me, because I was a bulldozer, just an overthinker, was how to get out of my head. Get out of your head. Stop thinking. Because the dragons say that when they want to come through, when they are either being called by you or when they are calling you, the thing that gets in their way the most is what goes on in here. Your thoughts. It's like hitting a brick wall. So you're inviting them in, but you're still thinking, doing. And it's just really difficult for them to get through all of that and break through all the thinking and being able to get out of your head and let your head get out of the way. So we've got 4 dragon cards today. all in the presence of being able to navigate, let the soul all the way through, let the dragons, the way of the dragons, being able to operate from your soul's perspective, and doing those practices, inviting your soul into your life, so that if you have felt stuck and if you have felt things are in your way, you're actually willing, ready, willing and able to say, I see what's in my way. I'm in my own way. Pull me out of the way. So let's just see which card comes up for card number 1. I always do this actually on the call itself. Okay. Card number 1 that has come through today in this particular theme is card number 49. These are the Way of the Dragon cards. Awaken with the Dragons. Flow is the state when you cope really well with life. Attend to your energy first and foremost. So ceremony is the rainbow dragon. We just mentioned the rainbow dragon, didn't we? We just talked about being on the edge of the cliff, and are you brave enough to jump? Are you brave enough to listen and to take the advice that is being given to you? So let's just open this up a little bit. Anybody who chose card number 1 or anybody who's on this call, this is all what ceremony and the dragons are all about. Like, are you willing to go with this new state? So this new state is when you've created a new identity for yourself. When you're allowing your soul to come all the way through. When you're creating what it is that you want rather than just accepting what's going on. So card number 49, what did I say? Ceremony. Here we go. So it must be the first one in ceremony. It is. So this is the little booklet that comes with the cards. So I'm going to read a little bit of the message because sometimes these messages can be a little bit long. Flow is the state when you cope really well with life. Attend to your energy first and foremost. You put yourself first. When you entered your spiritual path, it was easier to see new things and learn new things, always letting go of the old ways of learning with the rigid step-by-step plan, logical ways that you've become so familiar with as a tool to take in new information. This is often how we operate. This is how we were educated to operate. And what the dragons are saying, let's just let go of that, shall we? We attend to our energy first. Now, this is where an awful lot of spiritual coaches and healers, they let themselves down because we're not cleaning our energy regularly. So let's just carry on with this. So books teach you to judge and compare the new ways with the old ways as measures and reference guides to help you understand the vibration and frequency of form and the ways your world have been created from your thoughts, energy and actions. Your energy will stand and still be stagnant, to be held in meditation, remaining still for long periods of time, which does not always allow you to cast off the lower vibrations and cope with your swinging pendulum of duality as you are here on earth. Flow operates as far away from these rigid rules as you can possibly imagine. Flow will have you playing like children, totally frivolous, thoughtless, worryless. You and your environment, your pocket of population that you've come in touch with, has got to a stage where a new paradigm, an ascension into a new human is coming. And this transformation from the classroom sense, which is all seriousness, competitive, where the sole objective has still been around survival and making money and around growing as a route to be successful, claiming your personal power. To know more, have more, and be one of the elite is what the dragons are calling you to be. What I've also noticed is the people who love dragons, the people who really enjoy and feel that they are being called by the dragons because they've seen them in their meditations, we are the kind of people who don't like the fluffy. We don't like don't ramble on, just give it to me straight. And the dragons are very straight talking. And To sit in meditation for sometimes, it can feel a little bit still and stagnant, even journaling and those kind of things, and yoga can be a bit slow. You might be the kind of person who enjoys a run or ecstatic dancing or 5 rhythm dancing or a different kind of flow within your body, like stomping and, good tribal beats, those kind of things. Sitting still is great, and being in the forest and under a tree can really bring in new information for you. But I'm finding more and more and more the people who really love the dragons, who work really well with the dragons and the dragons are calling in, they have a different way of operating. They want to shake it off, like the beast that runs through the forest and then realizes it hasn't been caught by the leopard or the tiger. They have to shake that off. Now, shaking it off like on a trampoline or running and jumping and being very physical with your body is a great way to get rid of a lot of this energy. Excellent. All right, so we're loving the dragons. So this may have you playing 1 minute and serious the next and getting all confused to which is the right approach. How do I do this, dragons? Like, things are not working out for me. Things are not, coming through to me as they should be. So, like, what are you saying to me here? Go with the flow state. Attend to your energy first and foremost. When you're connected with lower vibration beings in your workplace, while you work or play in your family, from down the street or on social media, you will recognize from this population you are holding on to outdated stories. These people need to desperately maintain stability in their environments, and you will feel their energy is stale and you will become aware of maybe allergic to it. Occasionally, you will believe it to be your energy state and get influenced by the story that so much rocks your frequency that it just feels really, really uncomfortable. This is the time that you are being called back to come home, to recognize the frequency, where and who it comes from, and finally know what's yours and what's yours to deal with. You don't have to take on someone else's energy and have it as your own. As a sensitive empathic, you will feel it, and you can now choose consciously to clean and clear that from your own energy. The stuck, stagnant, rotting, smelly energy, that story that's being told by you or by someone else, you get to experience the survival state, which feels like war and abuse inside your body, hate and anger, and that repeated old story, which transmits an energy and creates form on your body and in your environment. Often you'll get a physical symptom just to show you, move on and shake it off. We don't want this anymore. And sometimes you'll have that in your finances, or you'll have it in your romance, or you'll have it in something else, because it's just not where the dragons want you to be anymore. You need to move on. Your soul needs to move on. So I won't read the whole rest of the card, but basically what ceremony is asking you to do is to trust, to surrender, to let go, and to jump off that cliff, to start doing things in a very, very different way. And that just means shaking your energy off, getting rid of it, because you know what? It's not doing you any good at all. What happens is, when you are stuck in a particular frequency and you are completely having the same constant, circle of thoughts, it creates an energy, which you all know, it's an energy in the body, and that creates form on the body. It creates form in your environment. You'll notice that your drains get blocked, your windows break, or your car has a flat tire, or the engine breaks down, or you run out of petrol, or your battery goes flat. Something on the outside will be showing you exactly what's going on the inside. The only way to change it is to change you on the inside. Change your identity, change the story that you're telling, which is exactly what I want to introduce you to in the event that I'm running called Manifest 2024. It's not about the standard manifestation, it's about manifesting with the dragons, using the dragons way, understanding what they're asking you to do on a spiritual basis. So let's just see what comes up for anyone who picked card number 2. Now, Jasmina, Seren, Viola, we have there we go, that one popped out. Okay, so Tara, card number 16, flip out of resistance. This is the sea green dragon who came to me on the beach when I was doing a reading for someone, a business reading. And Tara came to me and she had so many questions for me. She wanted to know so much about me. What is it that you're doing? Why are you doing it? Why is it important? What is the value in that? What's your self-worth? All of it. Now, why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? She wanted me to pivot out of anything that was holding me back. And Tara is brilliant about that. And this one is all about flipping out of resistance. So going back to card number 1, which is really going with the flow and letting the energy state, taking care of your energy state. Now, why would you resist that? Why would you be resisting taking care of your own energy? When we take care of our own energy, things go ballistic. We are, what did the dragon say to me about a year ago? No, 2 years ago now. We won't send you anyone else for your business unless you take care of your energy first. So that was card number 1. And sometimes we resist it, don't we? We kind of get a little bit snarled up in how busy we are and all the rest of it. But this is really, really key. So card number 16 from the beautiful Tara. And her scales are beautiful blue, aquamarine and green. And she flips between those. So she's asking you to pivot between the blue and the green. She's showing you how you can swathe between the two. So flip out of resistance is her message. You can now easily recognize that most things that pop up that you would normally treat as an emergency or as another drama to deal with are merely a slight frustration and an inconvenience to how you wanted things to go. A situation arises as if by magic to tempt you back to the old ways of reacting, maybe to see if you can dance past this one and remain neutral and unaffected. Is your energy high enough? Have you been taking care of your own energy that you can just water off a duck's back, not be affected by that? Notice how you feel and see if your mind and body are able to be a lot calmer, installing consciously some different and fresh perspectives, a new story inside your head, maybe. How can you see the humour or the hidden dynamics of the situation for what it really is? An energy that needs to be expressed, released and completed. Maybe now you can also understand that you had in fact imagined an exact drama like this happening, and then as if by magic it was there in your face. Maybe you can see in your mind's eye and imagine that you have out in front of you a gauge that looks like a dial on your car dashboard maybe, or a barometer, and that measures your energy and goes from one side, from stress and panic, and then you can flip over and go to all the other way towards peaceful, serene, feeling fantastic, and you can have the best outcome ever. And in the middle there is a neutral and a place that feels like this is none of my concern. In neutral you can take your foot off the gas, stop speeding everywhere, and take the vehicle you're driving out of gear and coast along for a while and observe the situation that appears on your path. This card, my God, it goes so beautifully, doesn't it, with attend to your energy first and foremost. If you're not feeling very strong, phenomenally strong, in your own energy, then you are going to be affected by every single drama that comes up. So hands up, who's been being affected by dramas just recently? And you don't have to have those at all. If you're feeling really strong on the inside, if you're feeling very soulful, looking at things from the perspective of the soul, it's going to be a very, very different journey. Last little bit here. We, the Dragon Collective, often see resistance to the energy that rises up, that is asking to be completed and cleared, to allow you to be neutral and safe, as this energy emanates from you and is visible to us. Resistance has a vibration that surrounds you and therefore attracts more of the similar things. So whatever you're feeling or whatever you resist, whatever you're fighting against, can only come back to you because that's what you're concentrating on. In the event that I'm running on the 22nd of January, Manifest 2024, we're going to be going into each single dragon and we're going to be looking at how what their part is in your manifestation, how they can help you create that new identity, how they help you create from the inside. Your inside world creates your outside world. This is everything that the dragons, the way of the dragons, are asking you to operate in a completely different way. So if you've been feeling stuck and if something's been going on for you, how are these cards serving you? How are they showing you that you can pivot out of it? You can pivot out of your own resistance to whatever it is. And how you can go more with the flow. So card number 3 we're asking for now. There we go. Card number 3. If you chose card number 3, this is Seraphina. Seraphina was the golden dragon that I met first down in the cave. She came to me first about a year before through my third eye, massive eye, just looking into my world. She would not let herself scare me. She just decided to put a great big eye into the world and wanted to look and wanted to show me how to look at things in a different perspective. You're welcome, darling. I hope these cards are helpful for you. Keep listening because 3 and 4 will probably all just bind it all together. So Seraphina's major purpose, she's the matriarch for all the dragons. Her major purpose is to help you know what you want. She coaxes that out for you. She has a very, very good way of asking all the questions for you. Hi, Carol. So this card is her card, number 2. So there's 8 dragons. Each dragon has 8 predominant messages for you. Seraphina says, the spell has to be broken. The knowledge has to come through. So, number 2. And we're just going to call in Seraphina so she can come through and you can actually listen to her and you can be in her energy and she can infuse through all of you while you're listening. You have much needed knowledge that needs to come through right now. The spell has to be broken. Things are already changing for you. The old ways don't work so well for you anymore. Isn't that just exactly what we started this whole call with? Enough time has passed in struggle. It's time to access your power, which is the power to create magic and miracles. The planet and the population are evolving rapidly now, and those who wish to shift into being conscious creators, to wield this power for good, for fun, for play, and for the experience of feeling 100% alive, and just experiencing your time on this planet in this earthly flesh and bones body as a creator of a life well lived, you can experience creation and being able to create out of energy, out of vibration, and out of ether, and out of nothing. And yet that is everything. Everything is possible for you. Anybody can create. There is potential to go from sickness to health. Anybody can change their focus. You can call to you what you want. You can call to you the fortune that you want. Not just a fortune cookie, the fortune, the finances. You can call towards you like I did, the romance that you want, the relationships that you want, the houses that you want, the countries that you want to live in, the countries that you want to visit, the health that you want. You create that as a template. You call that in. Once you are clear and know without a doubt what it is that you want, once you know what the feeling and the energy of that is that you want, it is simple and is as hard as that. Something that the dragons are wanting me to remind you right now Once you are clear and without a doubt of what you want, so be it, for the good of all. So be it. Sometimes the human, we, the flesh and bones body here down on earth, get a little bit squirrely about that, and we kind of go, oh, I feel really selfish asking for so much and wanting so much. It's not, this isn't what I want. I want to feel really good about this. But the dragons are saying, but that idea of you travelling or having the romance or having the finances or playing more came from your soul. That's what your soul wants. It's your soul purpose. So once you start acting on it, you're giving it back to your soul. If I disappear, because my battery's gone dead. So card number 4, you just flipped out there and I put you back in. Oh, beautiful. We have sovereign, action mode. How have you decided to radiate and express your essence and self energetically? Sovereign is all about the soul. What are we talking about today? Getting into your neutral space, getting into your powerful, claiming your power, empowering yourself, feeling really strong on the inside. So no one else's rubbish can ever get in your way, ever, ever again. Sovereign she has a regal energy. If you can just feel into that, just douse yourself in that, you will feel her regalness. She's royal purple, and she's just so stately. So let's read that card number 40. These will go on YouTube later, by the way. They're also in my group, Practical Magic. If anybody's not in my group, please come and join us and have more fun with the dragons. Again, the dragons, they don't muck around. They're no pussyfooting around. They're very direct talking, and they want the absolute best for you. So, action mode. How have you decided to radiate and express your essence and self energetically? This is your new identity that they're talking about. Going back to card number 1, creating a new identity. Whatever action mode you have decided to express yourself through, that has you so often on repeat, acting over and over in the same pattern, just out of habit, and the necessity to take time for action, it's time to take a step back and look at all of that. What needs doing, what you've been repeatedly doing, keeping busy with actions for the sake of being busy that are fruitless. Now you see, this is the first generation of doing things in a completely different way, and that's why you keep going back to the old ways of needing to do something. I recognise that for sure. I had to leap over the cliff on that one. And that's why you keep going back to the old ways of needing to do something, and you keep being presented with other people who are struggling and with the old ways of doing things that are so familiar to you. We see that human beings are very much in addiction to this action mode and will fall into the same old circles over and over and over again. There is a feeling of genuine fear without any action. And that is the main culprit for this need to be doing all of the action. You're looking for action. You're looking for things to do. You're even looking to be told what to do. What do I need to do? What do I need to do next? What am I doing wrong? What's my next step? All the questions on repeat. The magic lies in mastering your mind and knowing that your mind can start the creation. With a clean, neutral, receptive, empty state. Where's my head at? Where's my head at? Empty head. You can then master a clear focus. The only act of doing you need to concentrate on. If you need to be doing, concentrate on that. Concentrate on the outcome. Focus yourself on the outcome. When your mind is clean and clear and laser focused, it is active in perfect action of attraction. It is not difficult. It is an action to do, and yet the action, turning the action into a belief that is already happening, even if you can't see it and feel it and touch it, to have that resonate through your body, the outcome that you're looking for. You're walking it, you're talking it, you're dressing it, you're playing with it. This is when it is out of your hands and when you are not needing to be in control. You have stepped out of the way and you can relax, knowing that you are no longer the one doing or in the doing. This has you thinking in the right way to see and feel the results that come from the invisible realms. This is when you start getting the guidance that the dragons have for you. This is when you start getting your intuition really, really strong, because this is when your head is not in the way. Not in the way, ladies. Ladies and gents, we are overthinking, we're overdoing. And if we had anything to do, it would be empty our heads. In the courses that I run, the Dragon Portal, the Manifest course, and also the Midas Touch, which is all about your good fortune, it is all about starting by emptying your head, which means that you are getting out of the way and you're letting the dragons, the guides, through to talk to you directly. Like I said before, the dragons are very, very, very direct. So if things are not going right to you, right for you, be sure that's a message. You have stepped out of your own way and you can relax. You are no longer the one doing or in the doing. This is you thinking in the right way and you feel the results and come from the invisible realms. This is a new way to cast a spell and to play with real magic in the world. Imagine being reminded that every time you're overactive in a habit of doing, you're reminding with a voice, the voice that came to me. That is such a human way of doing things. We want so much control, don't we? The more you play at this, the easier it gets to overcome the addiction and the spell that you've been under and the struggle of feeling so guilty when you seem like you're not doing enough of anything. It's a crossover. Go back to Tara. It's getting out of the resistance. It's crossing over from one realm to the other realm. The crossover pivotal point when you are relinquishing all control and sitting there, choosing specific, focused, creative, meditative devotion, knowing that this is far more powerful. That's why it seems so difficult, because it's so much easier. We are so indoctrinated and trained that if we want something, we have to work hard at it. My name is Fiona Robertson. I am an energy healer. I am here to help you understand what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what the spirit, your dragons, are actually inviting your soul to come all the way through. The dragon's way, creating you so that you are a complete and a delightful mystery to yourself. It's like, I don't normally do things this way, but this way seems to be working so much easier. So doing things that you've never done before. Nothing that you've ever learnt is defining you anymore. You forget everything that you've ever learnt. You're starting from fresh. So no wonder you are a mystery to yourself. You've been handed today a blank slate. You've been handed a fresh start. So you've been having a makeover already today so that you can act on inspiration, act on your intuition, and listen to your own guidance. My name is Fiona Robertson. I'm a channel for the dragons. I help you to emotionally clear and channel the dragons, to empty your head so that you actually are getting information, guidance, and all that gorgeous stuff that has evaded you so far. Have a wonderful week. I shall be tagging anyone else in. If you're here on replay, let me know. If you have any questions for the dragons, let me know. Please make sure that you sign up for the Manifest 2024 with the dragons, because they will be teaching you stuff that I have never shared before. They're still downloading it for me now. So that's all going to be very fresh and new. This is Year of the Dragon, by the way, 2024. So much love to you. Thank you for being here. And I will see you all on the 22nd of January.